Hey everybody, this is NYC Geek Society. John here with Dom,
What's up?
and we haven't done anything for a while. I've been sick for like a month, it feels, and Dom has his life going on.
Just life in general.
Just life. I
Just
mean,
life.
look at him, man. You look at Dom, and you're like, he's lived life. That's what he's lived.
Lived life to the
Just
least.
life, man.
Just life in general. Just
Don
living,
Damola.
breathing, eating, other such bodily functions.
So Dom's been away because of bodily functions. But yeah, we decided to come back because the Video Game Awards won Thursday, and
I
starting
didn't watch them.
right.
I'm sorry.
I showed you a couple of
Yeah,
trailers.
I watched all the good parts. For sure, the trailers.
And today and tomorrow is the PlayStation Experience. So there was their conference today, which I showed him parts of as well. And we just watched Kojima Productions had a panel that we both watched together just now. And so we're going to talk about some stuff.
Yes. So right before John played me the new trailer of Death Stranding, and I was hyped to see something more from the game, and yet they just played the same trailer again with different music.
Right.
And with Hideo, freaking, selling us his freaking vinyl records all of a sudden.
What was it? His records.
It said Death Stranding on it, so he's most likely making money off of that. You know he needs money. He hasn't done anything.
Maybe you're right. That makes sense.
So he's like, here, buy my CD so we can fund our Death Stranding.
Yeah, so basically what happened is on Thursday they premiered a new trailer for Death Stranding with Mads Mikkelsen in it and Guillermo del Toro's character model.
Basically his corpse being puppeteered.
Because basically they announced in this panel that Guillermo's actually going to be acting in the game.
He's not going to be anything in the game. It's just his body.
It's just his body. Someone's going to be walking around with a
Guillermo
del Toro puppet.
Not even his voice either. They better try to get his voice down because he's got a cool voice.
But anyway, so they showed that trailer on Thursday, and then today at the Death Stranding panel, they showed the same trailer, but with a different song in the background. I didn't write down the name of the band.
Low Roar, I think, wasn't it?
Something like Low Roar.
I think it was Low Roar.
So they're the same band that did the music for the first Death Stranding E3 trailer. And so then he showed off like a special edition vinyl that has like Death Stranding art or something on it.
Yeah. Basically just says the songs from Death Stranding. Buy it, please.
So that was interesting.
And then they went on to just talk about something completely different the whole time.
Yeah, most of the panel was talking about the game engine.
Hideo sidestepping questions about the game.
Yeah, there probably isn't really much of a game to begin with now.
Probably
so that's
not.
why they were just focusing on the engine. But what's exciting about the engine is that they're teaming up with Guerrilla Games and using the Decima engine. Dejima, which is apparently what it is in Japan.
So we got a history lesson about Japan.
Yeah, well, usually you do with Kojima talking. And it's the same engine that Guerrilla Games is using on their game Horizon Zero Dawn, which I was surprised to find out that you know nothing about.
Well, I saw that dinosaur thing, and I was interested, and that was.
So I gotta show you trailers of that as well, man. I mean,
well, whatever I saw, I would totally be down to get it. It looks like Enslaved.
Yeah, it looks a lot like Enslaved.
Enslaved
from
was
Ninja
really
Theory.
cool, even though it was really whack ending.
Yeah.
Hopefully this game doesn't have a whack ending.
Well, it's not the same people.
I want to see how much Kojima is gonna put into this game. That's what I wanted to know something about this game. I wonder if he even has a finished story.
Well, I mean, you know how game development works. I'm sure.
Because I feel like this is just Kojima gonna string us along for another 4 or 5 years before he releases something, and him just string us along with hints of nothing. Because Metal Gear Solid 5 took forever to come out, and there was like a never-ending supply of trailers and information about it.
Right, but he said that this is going to be a shorter game.
So basically, Ground Zeroes.
Maybe. I mean,
I feel
not
like,
that short.
I feel like it's because he has no money. He has no money.
Well, I mean, he's just
like,
starting a new company.
Exactly. Like, he's
but I'm
trying
sure
to...
PlayStation is giving him money.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the games that he makes
producing it.
This game looks really strange. Like,
well,
a lot of people, I don't know if they're gonna get this game. Like, to me, I'm gonna get it because I love Hideo, but not everybody loves Hideo.
Right, but
people love Metal Gear, and not even everybody bought Metal Gear.
Yeah, but
it's also like you're taking a gamble with getting Hideo.
But you could say the same thing about like any new franchise, like
exactly. They don't put that much money into new franchises.
I mean,
unless it's like a done deal.
But think
like
of The Last of Us.
But that was basically like.
So people know, but that's the thing. People know Naughty Dog probably just as much as people know Kojima Productions.
Kojima Productions doesn't exist yet.
Well, it exists now. They're making it now. I don't know. I agree.
It's like his selling point, this whole thing. They're like, oh yeah, everybody don't be afraid that I don't have my own game engine. I'm using these guys and helping them fix it up.
Well, in order to speed things along. I mean, that's what took Metal Gear Solid 5 so long to make, because they weren't just making the game. They were making a game engine that he was going to plan on using further down the road. Like he wanted to finally have an engine that he didn't have to build from the ground up.
I wonder how much of the stuff he learned from making that he's able to use.
Because
I wonder, like, if he put something into this new engine, like, would Konami like sue them for like using the same sort of thing?
I don't think you could. I don't think that you
because
can
he lost all rights to his work, so whatever he came up with is not his anymore. So he can't just be like, oh yeah, we learned this, now I'm gonna put it into this engine. Like, I feel like Konami's gonna be like, no, you can't do that, you can't use that code because it's our code, because they're dicks.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know what the legalities specifically for like I know that, like, for example, what's his name? Sean Murray from Hello Games, No Man's Sky, was running into some trouble months back because the algorithm he was using was copyrighted.
Exactly. That's probably why he didn't even want to create a new engine, because they would basically have to throw away everything they did, There's no way the team would be able to come up with another engine different than what he already did.
There's certain things, like, this is a guy that's been a game designer and coder for over 30 years. Like, I don't know.
All that stuff
you can't just say,
like, Konami.
Yeah, but I don't think you could sue somebody that's just like, he's a coder, so he's going to code, and it's the way he probably codes,
Yeah, but however he coded for that many years belongs to Konami.
I don't know.
He did it under them, so it's not technically his, it's theirs. Especially how Konami works.
Yeah, but I feel like, for example, let's say there's a publishing company that owns a series of books, right? And, the writer goes and writes his own books now. Like, he'll have a certain writing style. I don't think you could own that. If he was using certain words, like if in the game it said Metal Gear or Big Boss or something like that, or if in the code there were I don't know, I feel like it's a writing
box. Like, no, you can't use a box.
But even that, we're talking about content and not what builds an engine.
Like the code for using a box in the game.
I feel like some stuff is, yeah. I feel
like you could put cardboard box in your game, but you can't use it this way.
But all engines have similar things. You know what I mean? Like the Unity and Unreal, they are similar because they're doing similar things. Mm-hmm. So I don't really know what exactly separates these things. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's something that he's going to have to deal with. Yeah,
you think? I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. But that's the thing too. Like, I don't really know of any other situation that's
Who are you
been
talking
like
to,
Kojima.
Don?
I'm thinking,
Like
I'm
talking to the
thinking over
TV.
here. Sorry,
You're
guys.
like, hey,
I mean, the only other situation that's similar to this also happened very recently, which is with Amy Hennig, from Naughty Dog. She was the creator of the Uncharted series, and then she got fired for reasons we don't know during development of Uncharted 4. The thing with that is that Naughty Dog has been very good about things with her. They even have an Uncharted 4 in the credits. Special thank you to Amy Hennig at the Game Awards that happened on Thursday. Every award that they had, whoever was up there thanked Amy Hennig there too.
Mm-hmm.
So like they seem to be very polite about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas what we saw with Konami was very vicious and
Out,
strange.
bitch. Get out.
Yeah, like they took his name off of everything that he ever made, and then they put it back, and like it was weird.
They don't care.
So I don't know, but I was thinking that too. That also maybe that's the good part of this. Like maybe at this point they just don't care. They don't. So maybe they wouldn't even care to pursue.
They're gonna
anything.
drag the corpse of Metal Gear through the ground, through the depths of hell.
Yeah, man.
I have hopes, though. I have hopes.
Well, that new Metal Gear zombie thing looked horrible. I forgot
I'm
what
fine.
even it was called.
I'm fine with it.
Really?
I'm fine with
See,
it.
I'm like one of those people where I'm not gonna buy another Konami game unless like all the people that were involved with like getting rid of Kojima are just gone.
Boycott,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
I'll play it for both of us.
okay. I don't know. They just mess things up so badly, like.
I feel like they should have just continued it from where they left off.
You mean
like actually finish Metal Gear
Yeah.
Solid 5 rather than be like Metal Gear Solid 5 some weird
Yeah, but
extra
that's what I'm saying.
dimension
I
of
don't think they
bullshit.
know how to because it was such a Kojima thing.
No, I don't feel like that's true. I feel like there's enough people that could do justice to something. Like the whole thing is in the hands of whoever Konami gives it to. Because there probably are people that could do it justice. It just depends on who the fuck Konami wants to give it to. Because if they give it to some random person and be like, oh, make a Metal Gear game, but don't care about any of the lore or anything. Just call it Metal Gear.
But the thing with Metal Gear, even with the stuff that Kojima just produced, even when he wasn't game designer, he was involved. You know what I mean? And especially in the games that he was game designer, he was never just game designer. Like when you look at the credits of any Metal Gear Solid game,
Kojima.
like he's a part of every team. Like he did something in like every team that made up the game. Like he was just.
I just want to know where he's gonna go, or if this like Death Stranding is gonna be a continuing thing, or if it's gonna be like part 1, or he's gonna make a new franchise. It's like, what do you do?
I don't know. I mean, I think that there was talks that
because did he do really any other games besides Metal Gear? He did like was it like Zone of Enders or something?
No, even that he just produced.
He didn't really do like anything else.
He's as game designer. He was. It was Metal Gear. Then I think it was Snatcher, which is like his version of Blade Runner essentially, and it was like a more point and click adventure game. Then he did Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake. Then he did Psychonauts, which was like a spiritual sequel to Snatcher. That it's the only one of his games I think that was never released in the West.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went Metal Gear Solid, and then that's all he did after that. So yeah, most of his career he's just done Metal Gear.
I feel like now he has the ability to do all the crazy shit that Konami never let him do, which I'm very afraid of.
I'm both excited and afraid by it.
I'm mostly afraid of it.
Because I think that he took a lot of his team with him, at least like the key players.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me feel a little bit better about it, because he's even said like his team has stopped him from doing more crazy stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and I remember hearing like an idea he had for Metal Gear Solid 3 was that if you die in the game, it erased all your save data and you'd have to start over
No
again.
one would play that.
And like his team was like, no, we can't do that.
European extreme mode.
Or in Metal Gear Solid 4, he was going to have it end with Solid Snake and Otacon being arrested as terrorists. And they were like, no, you can't do that. Like, so I think that probably the people that were telling him no, he took with him.
Hopefully.
I'm hoping, like...
but that's like the thing I was trying to say. Like, it's not all Kojima behind everything.
Right, but...
Because the thing with me is, like, I like Kojima, but there's a lot of times that I really just hate him.
You hate him?
Yeah, because there's certain things that I would want to see from Metal Gear, or like certain things that happen in the games. I'm like, what the fuck, Kojima? Like, what was that? Or why can't you just do what we want, Kojima? He's like, I know what you guys want, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this fucking weird thing.
Yeah, but that's what I respect from him. Like that he's creating his work of art. And that's why I think he's pushed the industry forward, and he makes such unique stories because he
doesn't care what anyone else thinks.
Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, like he's telling his own story.
But for me right now, I'm very afraid of what Death Stranding is going to turn into. I don't know what the hell it is. I hate like little babies, especially in video games. So I don't know what.
Did we talk about that once? Like Parasite Eve, I brought up.
I don't know.
Or no, you brought up another game. What was the game that you?
Drakengard.
Right.
The first Drakengard, where it's like the real ending of that game is just like giant babies fall from the sky. And they're literally giant babies, and they're crying, and they try to kill you.
We should do a video of just like
it's really
creepy babies in games.
I want to go back and replay that game just so that I could do a let's play of that fucking weird ass ending.
Could do that.
It's like literally the ending of that game is like a giant bald pregnant woman in the sky, and you have to like there's like these rings that come out, and you have to like deflect them with your own rings.
Well, in Parasite Eve, like the main boss, or like towards the end, you fight a giant baby. And
I really
Silent Hill 3. The bad guy eats like a baby. And,
I want to see more of this like undead skeleton stuff. I want to see
what was like that squid thing around the
weird
tank.
I don't want to see any more of these babies.
Well,
I'm over with the babies. I want to see what the hell this is. It seems
like
an apocalyptic world where there's babies everywhere in like incubation tanks. And Guillermo del Toro is not really Guillermo del Toro, carrying them around, plugging shit in.
Let me ask you something. Like, do you
Tentacles.
think like the stuff that we've seen is stuff that will actually be maybe not directly in the game, but like has to do with the game? Or are these just like mood pieces at this point?
I feel like they probably do.
Yeah.
Like, even if they're not huge pieces of the game, like they are part of the game.
Because it's so abstract so far.
Exactly. Like, I feel like the part of the game, like the actual story, he's not going to really say anything about that. He's like, here's like this obscure like scene here that's interesting, obscure scene here. And even if you like watch them 1,000 times, you could not figure out what the hell's going on.
See, that's what's interesting to me because like
who are these characters? What is fucking going on?
Well, that's the thing. In Metal Gear Solid, like even with like the trailers, I mean... he's known for doing weird stuff and having sort of symbolic, abstract things in his games.
Yeah.
But until now, every one of his trailers that he's ever done, you could see how it takes place in some sort of logical, even if science fiction world.
Yeah.
Where this just seems very...
weird.
Yeah, just kind of like I can't think of like the name.
I hope he goes like more supernatural or something.
Well, that's what it seems like.
Like it seems like,
but
techno-organic like necromancy or something, like with babies.
Yeah, it almost feels like for me like have you ever seen the movie Hellraiser or Hellraiser 2? I just finally watched them recently. Of just like the hell worlds where like
I know that.
Or almost like it in like
alternate reality.
Yeah, where like you have the feeling like there's some sort of logic going on that we wouldn't understand. What's that famous quote from I can't remember even which scientist where to like primitive man, like science would seem like magic or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? I can't
like
think of
all
it.
the Marvel movies, what they're saying about now.
But that's what it seems like to me. Like it seems like that there's
Ancient alien theory.
there's
Ancient
like a science
astronaut theory.
behind what's going on, but it looks like magic to us, which Kojima again has played with before. But yeah, with the 2 trailers we've seen so far, I just it could be aliens, it could be technology, it could be anything.
A lot of dead animals in this trailer, dead crabs and dolphins.
But that's what made me think, like, is this just like a tone or mood piece, or is this the kind of thing that we're actually going to see in the game?
I don't know. If he's saying it's not a full game, I don't know what the hell it's gonna be.
No, he's saying it's a full game,
but not like a super long game.
He said that it's an open world action game, but he said it's not nearly to like the degree of like Metal Gear Solid 5, you know? Like, so what that means, I'm not quite sure. You know,
I don't feel like that's a world I really want to explore anyway. It just seems creepy as hell. Like tentacles and fucking.
You don't want to
baby
ride
dolls.
a tentacle tank?
I would like to ride a tentacle tank as long as they stay where they gotta be. Keep those tentacles away. I took it there.
Oh man!
I just want to see something. So they said that guy's the bad guy, Mads Mikkelsen, and Norman Reedus is the good guy.
Yeah.
But was that Norman Reedus in the first trailer, or was that?
Yeah.
But didn't they say that wasn't him?
No, they said that was him.
He was like naked and holding baby, right? Is that
Yeah.
the same trailer?
Yeah.
See, these are all the things that make
What?
me uneasy. Naked men holding babies, tentacles, baby dolls opening eyes.
Yeah, baby winked at you, man.
I don't like that. I'm looking forward to the skeletons and superpowers.
And yeah, like I discussed with you off camera before, like what is this obsession with that Kojima has with one-eyed people? Is it
Escape
a reference?
from New York.
Well, for me, I think I remember years ago I read like something that was making it clear that Metal Gear Solid was based off of Norse mythology, and that like Big Boss was Odin, Snake was Thor. I don't remember the rest of the characters, but I think like there was even like an actual fox in like Norse mythology that was almost like the same character as Gray Fox and stuff like that.
Well, wasn't he talking about like Netherlands and all that for this one? What was all these like?
Yeah. Well,
it's not
because
like Norse mythology.
Guerrilla
like
Games is in Netherlands.
So maybe it is.
Is Netherlands Norse?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Netherlands, Norse.
I don't even remember that.
I think it is. Where else would it be?
Comment if you watch this.
Comment if you know facts.
And tell us that we're stupid, that we don't know
I don't know anything. This guy knows something.
I know something.
He knows some things about
He
things.
knows nothing. You know nothing, Dom the Mola.
Dumb snow. Dumb snow. So basically, we were able to take nothing about this game away from this trailer.
But we learned a lot about an engine. Oh,
and that Guillermo del Toro is not in it.
Well, what we did find out that is also pretty cool is that there's a lot of collaboration going on between Guerrilla Games and Kojima Productions. And so they even said that there's going to be a satellite of Kojima Productions within Guerrilla Games. Like a small team from Kojima Productions will be working inside Guerrilla Games, which I've never really heard of anything like that happening before.
I feel like these guys are going to benefit like incredibly from having...
Oh my god, yeah. Like
the Horizon, like it looks good, but when you compare the graphics in that game to like the Death Stranding trailer, I'm like, I'm sorry. Like that looks like exactly Mads. Like exactly him. Like his eyes.
Yeah, the eyes were incredible.
Like Horizon, like the hair effects, I don't know. It was okay, but I feel like Kojima's gonna come through and just be like,
But that's like the good part of what you were saying before, of like
that's why this guy was like, take my shit, please.
Well, yeah. So, but like that Kojima's finally gonna be able to do things he wasn't able to do, and that's what stuff he's been talking about for years. That's why he wanted Kojima Productions originally to be an independent team from Konami, because he wanted to collaborate with people, and so that's what he's doing crazy way now. Like
I feel like he's gonna be stuck
Guillermo
with these
del Toro,
guys.
Mads Mikkelsen, and Guerrilla Games. But that was like a funny little anecdote that happened. That apparently when Kojima went to go meet with Guerrilla Games. What's his name? Herman.
Hermans.
That's
Gave
not
him a
his name.
box.
His
Gave him
name
a box
was
with the source code.
Herman Hulst.
Herman?
Yeah, Herman Hulst handed him a box, and he opened the box as a flash drive, and he said, "This is the source code to their engine," and that was even before they had a meeting. And
Take my code, please.
yeah, so he just gave him a box. Here's the code. So yeah, that's really exciting to me that they're going to be collaborating in a way that I don't really know of happening before in the game industry. And like that opens up a lot of things.
Well, that was like when Insomniac and Naughty Dog were when they first started, they shared
a lot of stuff, like the same mocap studio and stuff like that. But I've never heard of like, here's some of my guys that could work directly with your team. You know what I mean? Like, that's really interesting because does that open up where they could work with Naughty Dog like that? They could work with all the other game companies under the Sony umbrella.
I don't know if they would want to.
Maybe.
Because I feel like they're only working with them for their engine. So unless Kojima jumps ship to use a different engine.
I don't know.
Because I feel like that's the real reason why they need to be in such close proximity for the engine. I don't know if they're going to really comment on each other's like games. Maybe the technical side of it. But I feel like...
But think about that.
I don't know how this is going to work. I just see Kojima like walking and be like, I know everything. Like, I know this is your engine and I need to step lightly, but this is how I would do it. This is how I would... I feel like he was like, your lighting is good, but I want how I light, so incorporate that into your engine.
No, not
and
necessarily.
Use it as you wish.
Like, well, but he said like they are different styles. Like Horizon Zero Dawn is like a more stylized game, almost like Uncharted is, where like they look kind of like real people, but they also kind of look like cartoonish people.
Yeah.
But whereas Kojima is going for more photorealistic.
Because like when you kill someone, you will feel it in your soul.
Sure.
The blood splatter will remain on your hands through the controller. Get our new Blood Splatter 4 controller.
But speaking of Naughty Dog, with the PlayStation Experience conference, they announced a new Uncharted
game-ish game.
Yeah, Legacy Legends. Or
it's a game.
Lost
it's
Legend.
A game and not a game. It's a
Lost Legacy
game.
Yeah. Starring Chloe Frazier.
Lara Croft.
She doesn't look like Lara Croft.
Yeah, she does.
And they also, at the end of the conference, announced The Last of Us Part 2, and I got really emotional and almost cried. I did cry.
From the song?
I did cry a little bit.
You saw it,
and so this guy over here...
Does that song have any, like, meaning?
This guy over here still has not played The Last of Us.
We were supposed to do that on our Let's Play, and you never picked it.
Well, we're going to do that now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Not right now. Maybe, like, months from now.
We're playing on my cell phone.
8-bit Last of Us.
Oh, God. Anyway, so...
But does that song have any meaning to the game or no? It's just like a song they added to make everybody cry.
So kind of yes and no. Well, yes, probably.
That she what is it? Because she's saying I want to kill everybody.
Well, but essentially in The Last of Us, there's a part of the game where, Joel says to Ellie something to the degree of, when we get through this and everything's settled down, he promises to teach her how to play guitar. And so that's like a kind of cool nod to that he did teach her how to play that. And plus the music in the game is very important. They have like this guy, Gustavo, I can't remember his last name, who composed the music in that main like theme to The Last of Us.
Uh-huh.
And so it's just kind of cool to combine those things together to see Ellie singing what it seems like an original song as far as I know. And like you said, she's singing about that like
I'ma kill motherfuckers.
Well, not exactly.
Basically.
But I can't
You took it in a much more emotional way.
That's all I heard. Right, because I'm wrong. That was the lyric that
I'ma kill those motherfuckers.
But again, I don't want to spoil too much for you about how The Last of Us ended. But
I'm playing
it was
easy
very
mode,
significant.
guys.
Sure.
Not the true
Because
experience,
you're a
but
coward.
I'm a coward.
Um,
If you want to see me, let's play like and die every 5 minutes. Sure.
so do you want to talk about anything else, Dominic? No. How's life? How's your life? How's your beard?
Grown.
Yeah, my beard's all scruffy. It's a weird, messy beard.
You need to grow up more,
Or cut it all off.
or just get mutton
Just
chops.
cut off my face.
Get mutton chops. That's what you need.
What do you-
Handlebar mustache.
what do you think?
Into mutton chops.
What do you
Just
think,
shave right here.
NYC Geeks? Should I get mutton
I think
chops?
I would look ridiculous if I had that just gone right here. Nobody cares about this, so just stop watching.
You just look like a biker, dude.
I would.
Alright, I think, should we end this then? So, NYC Geek Society. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your friends,
Tell your,
tell your enemies. Tell Mad Mickelson.
Mad Milkman.
Tell Guillermo del Toro's body. Bye-bye.